The head of the Democratic Alliance, DA, Federal Council, Hallen Zille, has come under fire for remarks she made about KwaZulu Natal, KZN. Before we continue, please kindly hit on the subscribe button. At a press conference about government negotiations in Gauteng, Zille spoke words that caused a stir. Zille said that if negotiations with the African National Congress, ANC, in Gauteng broke down, the DA would not allow KZN to be thrown to the dogs. Social media users were incensed by this remark as it rapidly spread, infuriating members of rival political parties. The Youth League of the uMkhonto weSizwe, MK, party in KwaZulu-Natal was especially incensed. They claimed in a letter that Zille had denigrated KZN residents. "We are living in a time whereby rejection of white dominance does not make us vulnerable anymore. Therefore, Zille may not at any point call the people of KwaZulu-Natal dogs," the Youth League said. Zille claims that her remarks were misinterpreted. Nevertheless, she clarified to the citizen that she was using a typical English proverb. "This is a contrived scandal. That's a common English idiom," according to Zille. It's true that the expression "thrown to the dogs" is well known. It implies giving up on something or allowing it to go worse. Zille wasn't insulting anybody. Instead, he was voicing worries about what might happen to KZN if these people took over. On social media, several individuals supported Zille. Barney EMS, one user, commented, "It's a metaphor, a rhetorical device." Another person commented, "Discerning Deb, it's an idiomatic term, a saying. It doesn't specifically mention anybody." Political tensions are high in South Africa at the moment of the dispute. There has been a stumbling block in the negotiations between the DA and ANC to create a coalition administration in Gauteng. Zille was clarifying that the DA will not back out of its deal in KZN in spite of these issues. During the briefing, Zille said, "If KwaZulu-Natal does not agree to the terms of the Gauteng document, we will not bring them down. We are not careless people. KwaZulu-Natal is not something we want to give to the MK and EFF. It is going to be that province's worst nightmare." This episode brings to light the difficulties in communicating politics in a multicultural nation such as South Africa. Words are readily misinterpreted or misconstrued, particularly when posted on social media. The continuing conflicts between political groups as they attempt to build administrations in the wake of the most recent elections are also shown. Since the DA has traditionally been run by white people, it gets scrutinized more when talking about problems that primarily impact black communities. The national elections in South Africa in 2024 will need clear communication, which will become more important. Politicians must use caution when expressing themselves to prevent misconceptions that can exacerbate tensions. Zille maintains her position for the time being, saying it was a harmless usage of a popular word. However, the response demonstrates that even apparently innocuous words may incite intense discussion in South Africa's complicated political environment. In a pluralistic culture where ambiguities abound, how might legislators speak more clearly? Once again, in a startling change of events, the uMkhonto weSizwe, MK, party has abandoned its legal challenge, claiming electoral fraud and procedural errors as reasons for wanting to overturn the results of the most recent election. The party's decision, which was made public late yesterday in a curt press statement, represents a substantial change in their post-election approach and has generated a lot of conjecture about the reasons for this abrupt turnaround. The legal maneuver claimed persistent flaws in the voting process that supposedly harmed the MK party. It was first filed in the High Court a few days after the official release of the results. These accusations included charges of voter intimidation, ballot manipulation, and inconsistent management of voting materials throughout the party's running constituencies. The MK party leadership voiced their displeasure in a statement over what they described as structural challenges they faced in trying to establish allegations of election malpractice. Party spokesperson Thandine Nkosi stressed that although the party is adamant about the veracity of their claims, the decision to drop the court challenge was taken with the goal of putting national stability first and averting protracted legal disputes that might erode public trust in the election process. This action has been regarded by political experts as a calculated retreat meant to reorganize and concentrate efforts on the forthcoming local government elections, when the MK party hopes to establish itself in a crowded political field. The decision was made in the face of growing pressure from election monitors and civil society organizations